it's that time of year again. Starting to cut up the wood for the next winter coming. And that's why you got to stay on your toes in these cooler countries. Let me tell you, you got to plan ahead. Okay, so this is Houndog Steve coming to you on May the 19th. And I thought we'd do a quick garden update. Okay, let's go take a little look in the greenhouse. So basically what I've been doing today is transplanting the lettuce. This is just a regular leaf lettuce. And this bed here, actually these next two beds, is going to be where the peppers and the tomatoes are going to go. So I've been prepping that up, adding some worm castings. And I also added some volcanic dust, and this is for trace minerals in the soil. And I added a 10-pound bag of builder's sand, and this is just helps your worms out. They take the sand in and it helps them to digest whatever matter they're eating up in the garden. So this is a red leaf lettuce over here, and of course I'm just waiting for this grapevine to come out into leaf. It has indeed been a long, cool spring this year. It's been very wet, very cloudy, and in fact we're expecting some more rain today. I don't know if you can see here those red things sticking out of the ground. Those are my beets. They will be my early beets, and of course I'll be planting some outside very shortly. Now what's going on here is three types of bean. There's a red Mexican bush bean, there's a royal burgundy bean, and an heirloom bean, Fort William. And of course you see when you get these seeds, these are all heirloom seeds. This first crop will be my seed crop. Okay, so I will eat some of these in soups and so on and so forth, and as a green bean, you know, when it's fresh. But I'll be keeping the best pods, and that will be my seed crop for next year. And if you can do this, there is no doubt about it, plants improve every year that you plant them in the same kind of soil, the same kind of area, and the same kind of environmental conditions. But sure, I'm glad that I built this greenhouse. This is now my first full year with the greenhouse, and it's meant that I can get things started really early, and so I'm very pleased with that. And actually today I just took the sides off because it's looking like we're past any real cold weather coming, although our frost date up here is June the 5th. Yeah, I've been tidying up the edge of the garden here, and these railroad ties kind of make it look nice and neat and tidy. I really trimmed back the lilac bushes a couple of years ago, and I'd like to keep them at this height. But you can see it's going to be quite spectacular. There is a lot of flowers on the lilacs this year. Now this is my new addition. This is a cherry tree, and there are three different kinds of cherry on this tree grafted on. You can see the graft points right here, and at the back here. And so, well, there is certainly lots of flowers on it, and you can see a couple of the blossoms are out already. So we're going to see. There were grapevines in here, and they didn't do very well, and I didn't like the grape. They were supposed to be a wine grape, but wow, they sure were bitter, and they were seeded. So I just pulled all of those out, pulled the back support away, and yeah, I decided I was going to put a tree in here, and I would like to have, you know, like an edible wall up here. I'm going to put an apple tree and a plum tree and a pear tree all along here. So and those two pines that are not doing very well, they're coming down, and like I say, they will be replaced by fruit trees. So these are Spanish onions in this bed, coming along quite nicely, and the far bed there, and these two beds here have potatoes in them. And you can see the repair work I've had to do this year, which is why I've been kind of sketchy on videos. It's been kind of hard to keep up with all this stuff. Spring is a very busy time at my place. So anyways, these will be rebuilt. As you can see, this wood, it's only about 6 or 7 years old. It's spruce. But it's interesting, if you look at the, now this wood here is hemlock, and this is a spruce, and you can see it's cut wider, the edges are square, so they meet up a lot more smoothly. There's no gaps. You know, you can see down here the gaps along the side here. You don't get that when you look at the greenhouse. But this has fared very poorly, and in the next year or so I'm just kind of, you know, cobbling these along, because in the next year or so they are going to be replaced, and they will be built with hemlock, and so I should be able to get a good 10 to 15 years out of the hemlock. Now what we've got going on here is hot mustard. I'm doing a hot mustard treatment on the garden, and these are the boards for the raised bed I'm replacing over there. This hot mustard is a great treatment for your soil. It gets rid of all kinds of fungus, and it is a kind of a tonic. So you're going to let this grow up until it flowers, until those yellow flowers come out, and then you cut them down and you turn them into the soil. So you're adding organic matter, and the volatile oils in the hot mustard, as I say, will kill off fungus and any other harmful things that might be in your garden. It's kind of like a an organic cleansing, shall we say. So this will be getting done in the very near future, and wow, unbelievable what well, we've had a lot of frost and ice this winter, and I think that sort of pushed these boards apart. Okay, so this bed here is kale on one side, red kale on one side, and radish on the other. Strawberries are doing well. Yeah, here comes the rain. So these are garden peas, and some more onions, and of course chives. Now I don't know if you can see there, but that is an asparagus spear. There's another. About 3 or 4 days time I'll be eating asparagus. Gotta love that asparagus. Now here's a double row of garlic. That'll get me through the year. Wonderful stuff. But this has been my main green. This is a stinging nettle, and I'm letting this grow wild here because I'm going to start harvesting the root. Nettle root is the most amazing herb for men. It affects your testosterone levels, and it helps to remove the buildup of testosterone in your prostate gland. And also the nettle leaf is good for treating hair loss. So it's an all-around good herb for men to take. The root is done in a tincture, and the leaf is done as a tea. You can dry them, or I eat them as a vegetable. I just snip the tops off, clean them off, and there you go. Lightly blanch them, and they're ready to eat. Mint is coming on. Now you probably can't see in this bed. But there are all kinds of little green hairs coming out of the soil. Okay, so this is dill, cilantro, pineapple mint, and I see a few sunflowers there tucked in there. This bed just completely popped apart this winter. So this will be first up on the work agenda. And of course this is ready. I've got the boards over there under the tarp. That's ready to put round, and yes, it's going to be a busy year. Now this is a second bed of peas, but these small green sprouts here, this is a Jersey cabbage, and I'm going to be trying to make a Jersey cabbage cane. You can look this up on the internet, but Jersey is famous for this cabbage. It grows to about 7 or 8 feet tall, and you cure it for a year and then you can use it as a walking stick. This, by the way, is Egyptian onion. This is like a good garnish. You could just cut that off and put it into an egg salad or tuna salad sandwich, and got that really rich oniony taste and some colour too. Now this is my raspberry patch. There are about 5 different kinds of raspberries in here, but I suspect with cross-pollination they will all become mix and match. They're all sharing pollen and they're all of the same family. So just to round out the gardening update video and sort of vlog, yeah, I'm hoping to spend quite a bit more time in the garden this year, and as you will see by the other video that I'm going to be doing this evening, the weather is going to be a huge issue, and having some kind of garden ready to go is going to be an absolute necessity. So I am advising and urging everyone who within the range of my voice to start, even if you're gardening in buckets, even if you make a small raised bed. You don't have to quite do it as large as I have, but you know, something that you can do a salad garden, some tomatoes, some lettuce, some cucumber, this kind of stuff, because really gardening, it's not difficult, but it's a routine. And if you don't keep that routine up, it will be an absolute nightmare. It'll be just a thatch of weeds. Now I try and get into my garden at lunchtime for about half an hour, and I just do one bed at a time, and it's amazing what you can do in half an hour. And it's very relaxing, and you just pull a few weeds and you talk to your plants, and yeah. Anyway, the reason this is the big news, the big change in my life, is that I have found somebody, a barber, to come into the store, and they are going to work 3 days a week. They're going to work Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, and I am going to cut my work week back to Tuesday, Friday and Saturday. And so I am really looking forward to this sort of semi-retirement situation. I'm definitely not going to let go of the barbering, because I really truly love my job. I love all my customers. We have such great conversations in the barbershop, and being a tourist town, there is an incredible variety of customers and just interesting people that pass through this village during the course of the year. So I'm not going to let that go, but I am going to put a lot of effort into getting my raised beds fixed up and replaced, and I'd like to start a little part-time garden centre here at my home, and do lessons, do hanging baskets, selling heirloom plants and seeds and that kind of stuff. I'm right on a main street, which is very, very handy, and it's actually a very busy main street. And so over the next couple of years I'm going to be putting that together, and so yeah, retirement is not a good word for me. It's slowing down in one sense but picking up in another. And the other great thing is I am going to be able to spend a little bit more time on research, on my videos, on sharpening them up a little bit, and yeah, I would like to just I see other people doing videos and I'm going, yeah, I'd like to present like that. You know, when they slide in and, you know, they put the Euro faces in a little corner, and I just have to figure out how to do that. And I know it's not hard, I know it's doable, I see other people doing it, it's just, it takes time. And this is why I've been so sketchy with my videos just lately. I was trying to do one an evening, but, you know, with planting season, we are going with the weather, and so it demands my attention when it's happening. and so I have to do that. And of course there is kayaking as well as part of my exercise regime. And I have been having like a little bit of a shoulder issue going on. It's a repetitive stress. That's another reason I want to slow down the hairdressing, is my arm is up in the air like that all the time, and I'm just feeling it. That just 27 years is a long time to be repeating that motion. Okay, so that is my big news. That is my garden coming along, and repairs shall begin very, very shortly. And we'll keep you updated. Please leave comments below if you're interested in this kind of stuff, because it is a big part of my life, and I really think that it's going to become, you'll see, the weather changes that we are going to see. And, I've said this before, it doesn't take a lot. A minor weather shift can cause big problems for farming, as you will see in the other video. Okie dokie, well, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe below. And in the meantime, this is Houndog Steve signing off, hoping you have a great evening and a great week coming up, and we will talk very, very shortly. You take care now. See ya. Bye.